What's up YouTube? Welcome to the review of the Honda CB300F. So the latest motorcycle from the Honda, the 300F, and I got a chance to ride this motorcycle, and this is my third day with the motorcycle, and today I'm riding on the highways. So let me just put my thoughts over this motorcycle in this video, because you might be already knowing that I'm a Honda owner, and there are certain things which I feel like too much Honda with it, and there are certain non-Honda things as with the motorcycle. So let's look in detail. First of all, look at the styling. I would say that this motorcycle is just brilliant in looks. Even though it looks like a bigger or a little beefed up version of the Honda 2.0, I will say that the design is good. Look at the lines, that paint scheme, everything looks sporty. Yeah, some people doesn't like the fact that it actually looks like a Hornet, a little bigger Hornet. Otherwise, look-wise, I'll say that this has a slight resemblance to the Honda CB500F, which is a bigger sibling of this one, and I think that bike is actually sale in India. Look-wise, I'll say that it's a very beautiful bike, and as well the quality, the fit and finish, everything is too good. If you see plastic panels, everything is too good. So from the front section, you will see the headlight. Actually, the throw of the headlight is pretty bad, I have to say that. And there you see the upside down forks, dual channel ABS. The braking is good. It feels a little squishy, but a progressive brake, and the suspension is actually onto a little tighter side. Altogether a stiff ride feel. We'll come back to the engine at a little later point of time. And we have a very roomy seat over here. You can see that, a broad seat. Even if you are a little onto a chubbier side, yes, this seat is going to satisfy you. And towards the rear section, it's a pretty basic tail section. I mean, it has a resemblance to the 500F, as well as the tail light resembles the 300R also. Pretty basic, and it looks neat. Altogether design looks neat, and the tank part is the most attractive part of this motorcycle. Looks very nice. So let's get on the motorcycle. So this one is actually not at all motorcycle. You can see that planted full on both sides. The ride feel is a little different, a little bit of sportiness to the riding, and the handlebar actually feels shorter. It's not a wider handlebar, it's a little shorter handlebar. To walk you through all the switches on the handlebar, here you have the high beam and the low beam and the pass switch here. These switches you will see only with the DLX Pro variant of this motorcycle. So there are two variants, DLX and DLX Pro. So this one is the one which you can connect your Bluetooth to the dash. So these are the switches for that, and the indicator and the horn, which is actually flipped in Honda's case. It will take a little time to get used to this, but it's kind of okay. And on this side we have the engine kill switch, caution lamp, and the ignition. So let me turn on the dial. So we have the gear position indicator, tachometer, speedometer, time, 2 trip meters, average speed, battery voltage, average mileage, fuel taken for the trip, and all those things. Also you have the side stand indicator. What you see over here is the traction control. So basically this motorcycle comes with a traction control system. You can turn it off. It's a switchable traction control. So that's the outlook of it. So before we start riding the motorcycle, let's hear the exhaust note. A slight resemblance to the previous version of Hornet. So let's go. So honestly, I have to say that I'm a big fan of Honda's gearbox and the clutch system, because always with any other Honda motorcycle, the gearbox and the clutch will be very nice. The gear shifting is like too precise. Clutch feel is not too light like the CB300R or the CBR250R, which was on sale previously, but this one is also on a lighter side. That's what I said. There are certain Honda things with this motorcycle, like typical Honda things, and there are certain non-Honda things as well. We can look into that now. So let me just grab a open road. So that's how the CB300F react when you do an open throttle. And the main non-Honda thing with this motorcycle is the engine, which is quite surprising for me, because Honda engines are quite refined with all of the motorcycle, but on this one what I feel is that it goes a little vibey after that 6000 RPM, and you can really feel it on the seat and on the foot peg and on the handlebar. So let's look at the positive side of the engine also. So basically this engine is enthusiastic in the bottom end part and the mid ranges. It gives you a feel that you're being pulled and you're getting that initial torque. But the thing is, this is a 300cc motorcycle and we cannot compare this performance with any other 300cc motorcycle, not even 250 at times, because the performance completely fades off after 6,000, 7,000 RPM. So this is mainly for the city commute kind of an engine, which is unlike the other Hondas which I've seen with this segment. That's what I was telling. It's a quite non-Honda thing. And if you ask me how the suspension feels, the suspension is actually a little onto a stiffer side, but the thing is, it is too good on handling. Beat high speeds or when it enters corner and all, like the bike is very stable. By the way, I was able to do 139 km/h on the speedo, so that's the top speed I got. And what I am comfortable with on this motorcycle is something like 80 to 90, because post 90 km/h we get a little vibey feel on the seat. If I had to cruise on 110, I can do that, but yes, that vibration feel is there, which you cannot see but you can feel. And coming on to the brakes, as I mentioned, it's kind of a progressive brake. In the initial you won't feel that there is too much of brake when you compare with the first version of the CB300R, but kind of okay. You'll be able to comfortably stop the motorcycle without any hiccups. So that's kind of a beginner friendly braking, and it is much easy to ride. As I mentioned, there is not too much sportiness to the upper body, and the motorcycle doesn't feel heavy because the center of gravity is actually lowered. Not at all motorcycle. So all of these are actually pointing finger to a comfortable riding motorcycle. And of course there are a lot of wind blasts because it's a naked motorcycle, we have to expect that. And taking U-turns and things are not at all a problem because riding inside city is too much fun. You can do this filtering all the time. And my feedback about the tire is, it is kind of okay to some extent, and if you try to push it beyond that limits, I feel the motorcycle has a little more potential to lean to, but the tires are not allowing that much. And there are no such ground clearance issues, even though this doesn't have much of a seat height. And let's get into the ownership part of this motorcycle. So this was actually on sale for around 2 lakh, I think 82 or 84,000 before, and now the price has been cut. Now this is for 2,22,000 for the DLX variant, and for the DLX Pro variant it is 2,25,000. The difference between DLX and the DLX Pro is you can connect the Bluetooth. So basically what you can do is, there is no turn-by-turn navigation. You should have a intercom system on your helmet. As for Honda, you can actually hear the directions, that's all, and you can change the music track, and you can attend the call, that's all. So basically this is kind of a switch gear for your phone. It doesn't show anything over there, and I strongly suggest everyone not to listen to music when you're riding. And yeah, coming back to the ownership part, the motorcycle actually returns a mileage from 35 to 40 km/L, and even I feel that I'm getting something beyond 40 km/L if I'm riding in these speeds. And the service interval is once in 6,000, just like any other Honda, and the service cost is something like 1,200 rupees. And now let's come to the verdict. So should you buy this motorcycle? So what I'm telling is that if you're someone who is upgrading from a 150cc motorcycle, then definitely you'll be liking it, because even though it's a 300cc motorcycle, it is not going to intimidate you in any manner. It's much comfortable, too good to ride. Only first thing is, like, when you sit on the motorcycle, you'll feel that the handlebar is a little short, otherwise you'll be much comfortable riding it. So upgrade from a 150cc, it's a good choice. If you're already on a 250 or a 200 or even on a 300, this is not going to be a great upgrade because of few reasons. First of all, this doesn't ride in par with a 300cc motorcycle if you are riding on a highway. I was expecting a cruise speed of around 120. Even you can do it all day long, that's not a problem. But the thing is, you have that vibration thing. I'm not actually making this up. I was trying to feel the rear seat as well, keeping my hand over there, and I was trying to place my hand on the pillion grab rail as well to see if I can feel the vibration, and I could feel it in 110 and all. So what I'll say is that 90 is a comfortable speed to cruise on this motorcycle. So definitely if you are someone who's currently from 200 to 300cc, not a great upgrade or not a great change to make. Otherwise, if you're just looking for a city motorcycle, yeah, you can consider this because it's good. Only one thing is, like, you should buy a auxiliary light because the headlight performance is pretty bad. So finally, if you ask me if there are certain things which I like and dislike about this motorcycle, definitely the thing which I like about the motorcycle is the kind of looks this has, kind of premiumness this offer. It's very nice, I love it. And if you ask me any dislike on the motorcycle, definitely the engine. I never expected, being a Honda for almost a decade, I'll say that this is the first time I'm experiencing this kind of a vibration issue, even though it might not be a huge vibration issue that we have seen with all the previous Enfields. A sand vibration itself is a big thing from Honda. So that's my take on the Honda 3.0. Sorry, that's my take on the Honda CB300F. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubts on the motorcycle, do let me know in the comment section. If I know about it, definitely I'll help you out. And as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.